Hello, I'm Joel Freeman. I'm the author of this book right here, If Nobody Loves You, Create the Demand. It's power-packed with wisdom and energy and kind of a jolt, I think, for some folks perhaps that are on the entrepreneurial journey. And I'm going to share some principles from this book, but I want to talk a little bit about the 5 different categories of entrepreneurial pursuits. And I'm hoping that in this series that you'll fit into one of these categories and maybe get 1 or 2 bright ideas for you in your in wanting to implement some of the ideas that are in your mind. And the first one is perhaps some watching this vignette right now are pre-entrepreneurs. And these are individuals who are kicking the tires, kind of checking things out, and have heard a lot of stories. Maybe you're in a situation in an industry that you feel is going to be carved out, never to be replaced again. I mean, we've seen this in throughout the years with technology has changed all the rules at times, and just with the recording industry, you may remember the old 12-inch LPs, and then digital came on the scene and just kind of changed the rules a little bit. And so perhaps you're in that situation and you're kind of checking things out and thinking about taking a leap into your own business enterprise. Maybe you've had an idea for an invention or something inside you wants to write a book or something like that, and you're just looking at that from different angles. The other next category is a group of individuals that may be watching this series is budding entrepreneur. Someone that's already taken the dive, if you will, the leap into entrepreneurship. Maybe has been at it for maybe 6 to 18 months or so, and things are kind of exciting, maybe too exciting in some levels. Maybe it's a situation where things are going very well, almost too well, and it's you're just kind of under a crush of constant activity. I know in the first few years of any entrepreneurial pursuit, 60 hours a week is nothing, and sometimes can take quite a toll on the family. And maybe that's some of the things you've been struggling with, trying to balance family life and personal time with all the things that are pulling at you from a legal perspective, from a customer service basis level. And maybe you're looking to hire people or bringing in independent contractors, and there's just some things pulling at you. And so maybe you're 10 miles wide and 3 inches deep at this point in your experience. Maybe you're in a stress-filled, change-filled type of situation. I'm hoping that you'll get some ideas during this series of vignettes. Maybe the third category is what we could call the seasoned entrepreneur, or in some cases the serial entrepreneur. Maybe you've been doing this and you've started things and you ramped them up and given them to somebody else or sold the business or something like that, and then starting another one. Maybe you got one more good one left in you, but maybe you need to kind of retool what happened, what has happened in technology. Maybe you haven't caught up with that. Maybe maybe some jadedness has entered into your way of thinking, and maybe just kind of a kick in the pants in a good sort of way, and kind of reinvigorate and re-energize the passion that you experienced the first time around. And then the fourth category we could call the corporate entrepreneur. Someone who is in a particular corporate setting. And in that setting, you have some entrepreneurial latitude, and you have the ability to get out and about and do your own thing. Maybe you're in radio ad sales. Maybe you're a minister. Maybe you're someone that works in a setting where you're selling cars, and there are certain rules and regulations that you have to go by. And maybe you're a teacher. And 10 months out of the year, you're teaching in a structured situation, but you have some latitude in your classroom with your students. Maybe you're in research, and you're in bioresearch, and you're trying to find the cure for some ravaging disease or something like that. So there are different aspects that are involved here in terms of entrepreneurship. And then also we have what we could call the turnkey entrepreneur. This is an individual that's in perhaps direct sales or selling widgets or something like that, one-on-one, or to companies. And maybe you are, or perhaps you're in network marketing. And you've been at this for a while. Franchising, you own a McDonald's franchise or some other type of franchise that they have spent millions upon millions of dollars to create this turnkey approach that can fit anyone with their personality style or income level or whatever. But anyone can kind of fit in to this particular system and can, if they follow the rules, they'll make it work. And maybe you're in a real estate situation. I think in any turnkey situation, the first year and a half, you need to fly straight and do it exactly the way they have told you to do it without reinventing the wheel. But after about a year and a half, you'll start looking at ways that you can maybe your local situation pulls certain things out of you, some creative things. So you got some entrepreneurial type of a latitude within that particular setting. Well, those are the 5 different categories, and I hope that if you fit into one of those categories, that this will make some impact to you, and maybe even make some sense out of what you do, just understanding what category you're in. But I want all of this to be under the umbrella, if possible, under the umbrella of social entrepreneurship. And that, in a nutshell, is doing good while doing well, and looking for ways and opportunities as you become more successful so that you can actually reach out and to communicate some wonderful things to in your local community. And perhaps in another vignette coming up, I'll share a lot about the nonprofit side of things and how to be inspired and inspiring in your business effort. And so I think that all of this is wonderful as a person is thinking about entrepreneurship, the definition of entrepreneurship. It isn't just making a ton of money. It might include that. But it's also maybe you're going to a developing nation and helping farmers learn how to grow better vegetables or better rice or banana crops or wheat or whatever they're growing. And or maybe you're in a situation where you're helping to find a cure for cancer or for some other type of ravaging disease. That's all a part of entrepreneurship. And I just really want to encourage you to think outside the box when you think of being an entrepreneur. Now I want to close out with this. I'm going to call it the HPP. This is a little wisdom lesson or an idea. HPP is the hot potato principle. And that basically, in a nutshell, is whatever you have responsibility for, to do it, and to do it in a timely fashion. If that means finishing your tax information and getting all that to your accountant so that your taxes can be finished in a timely fashion, whatever is in your hand, do it. If it means returning a phone call, if it means getting a report together, if it means sending an email to somebody, if it means making some type of initiation, going to visit someone to make some connections work, whatever is on your plate, do it, and do it quickly. And do it as well as you possibly can in a timely manner. But if you are a person who is a can-do person with a can-do attitude, and you finish whatever's in your hands, and you're not looking for somebody else and wait for somebody else, no one's going to wait for you. You're always going to be a person who's going to get it out of your hands as like a hot potato as quickly as possible into someone else's hands. And I'll tell you, you go far in life if you just learn and implement the HPP, the hot potato principle. Thanks for joining me. I hope you join me for the next vignettes coming up, and it's such a joy being with you. I'm Joel Freeman, and the author of If Nobody Loves You, Create the Demand. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for joining me.